In a world of SUVs and electrification, did a diesel hatch still do it for us? Depending on which day you ask, hatchbacks are my favorite kind of cars, and most days, I stand by that statement. I suspect it's my generation, millennials, we're called, growing up in the hatchback's heyday. Maybe someone 20 years younger would say the same about SUVs. For me, a hatchback is perfectly practical and the best size for all scenarios: suburban living, tight car park spaces, motorway driving, and, most notably, handling on country roads. Driving a Volkswagen Golf or in North Wales years ago still stands out as one of those days of purest pleasures. So when it was revealed that I would be the caretaker of a new Audi A3 Sportback, I was pleased. I drive a variety of cars, but hatchbacks don't come around too often these days, for all the reasons we're familiar with. I often wonder how much cannibalization goes on between a brand's hatchback and similarly sized SUV, because there absolutely must be some. Indeed, I worry that the popularity of SUVs will kill off hatchbacks. But happily, the A3 is still going strong. It accounts for a notable 25% of Audi's UK sales, and in terms of the crossover between it and the Audi Q3, the firm tells me, one year, someone may buy an A3, and when they come to renew they may have new requirements, for example, a family or a dog, whereby a Q3 may be more suitable for their needs, or they may be in a Q3 and want to downsize to an A3. What's more unusual than having a hatchback in an era of SUVs is that it's a diesel. Remember those? Remember when they took 50% of new car sales? Diesel now accounts for less than 5% of A3 Sportback sales, but Audi still thinks it's worth having it in the mix. While diesel was once the first choice for company car buyers, they now favor plug-in hybrids and EVs. Instead, it's high-mileage retail customers who are opting for this powertrain. The engine is a 2.0-liter turbo 4 delivering 148 bhp and 266 pound-feet at 1600 to 2750 revolutions per minute, mated to a 7-speed automatic gearbox. It takes 1 sec to hit 62 miles per hour, and the top speed is 141 miles per hour. I haven't written about a diesel for a while, but that all sounds as I'd expect it to. Our car is in S-Line trim, which sits between the basic Sport and the range-topping Black Edition. The A3 starting price is £29,515, less than £30,000, rising to £31,845 for the S-Line. That's for a 1.5-liter turbo petrol 4 with a 6-speed manual. For this diesel, the price creeps to £38,355. There's inevitably a long spec list, including 18 inches alloy wheels, a 10.1-inch touchscreen, heated leather sport seats, and plenty of sporty design touches, including a gloss dark chrome finish for the front grille, sportier-looking bumpers, a spoiler, and a rear diffuser in matte black. Most notable technically is the addition of sport suspension, which has more dynamic spring, damper adjustment, and lowers the ride height by 15 mm for more direct contact with the road and sportier handling, claims Audi. Just 2 options are fitted to our car: the already much discussed distinct green metallic paint £595, and the technology pack £1,495, which includes a head-up display, a reversing camera, adaptive cruise control without speed limiter, and a Sonos 3D premium sound system. There's one considerably more expensive pack, the similarly named Technology Pack Pro, which for £4,390 adds matrix LED headlights, multiple driver assistance systems, a panoramic sunroof, a comfort key that's keyless entry to you and me, and electrically adjustable front seats with memory function. That's it on the packs, which is pleasingly simple for buyers. When the A3 first arrived, it didn't even have 3 digits on the clock, so it's still too early in the run-in phase to judge fuel economy against the official figure of 55.4 mpg. First, I observed the car's good looks. I typically like hatchback proportions, and this S-Line spec, complete with spoiler and other touches, makes it appear sleek and smart without trying too hard. Second, I was surprised by how much I noticed the lack of instant torque, having run cars with electric motors for so long. Our just-gone Lexus LBX was only a hybrid, but it still permitted an effortlessly smooth departure. One suspect: very few buyers are going from hybrids to diesels, but I would be interested to hear from you if you have, and, inevitably, I quickly adapted to moving away fluidly in this diesel A3, but on that first go it was a little off-putting. No complaints about the A3 during my short stint so far. Well, actually, once I've finished writing this, I'm off for my second attempt to connect to the Miotti phone app, having lost my patience the first time round. But nonetheless, so far, so enjoyable. Update 2. Having spent a couple of months in this diesel A3, I've had plenty of time to ponder the evolution of diesel power. Not least because its almost inevitable fate is a result of a scandal that involved former derivatives of this very engine used across the Volkswagen Group, of which Audi is part. The drama of Dieselgate is hard to grasp 10 years on. How shocking it was, and how it affected an entire industry when diesel really was in its heyday. Not to say that the world wouldn't have evolved by now. Regardless, bad news stories about pollution from fossil fuel burning cars didn't just become a thing because of the scandal, but it certainly exacerbated the issue. And yet here I am, with a diesel A3, which accounts for 5% of A3 sales. The overall UK diesel market share last year was 6.3%. Audi hasn't said it will stop selling it, but with those figures it seems hard to justify. Plus, when I asked about the future of diesel for Audi, a brand spokesman said, Audi has just launched a new generation of diesel engines for the A5 and Q5 families, featuring a completely new mild hybrid plus system that further reduces CO2 output and increases performance. But Audi has a clear roadmap for the transition to electromobility. 2026 marks the turning point in our strategy. That turning point means no non-electric Audis will be launched from next year. But that's not to say the firm won't leave aging ICE cars on sale for a longer period, especially in markets where EVs aren't yet viable. Without that background context, and assessing a car purely on its own merits, what would I, or newcomers to diesel, make of this smart, gas-guzzling Audi? As I mentioned in my first report, it took a few journeys to adapt to not having instant power from the 1968cc turbo for its startup in the way of many hybrids I've run lately. But the diesel A3 is effortless to drive, and it remains satisfying to see the range slowly drop from the 500s, meaning I rarely need to go to a garage. Convenience is king, and all that. I'm getting 51 for MPG, which is not far off the official 55 point for MPG. Not many people I know drive a diesel these days, but just the other week, I went to